With the Spanish Grand Prix right around the corner, let's talk upgrades. Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya is a perfect track to bring and test upgrades, as the track comprises of a long straight, high-speed corners, medium and low-speed corners to an extent. We thought this is a great time to fill you guys in with what upgrades we can expect from teams at Barcelona. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's start this video with Aston Martin. So, the first thing to note is that Aston Martin has changed its upgrade plans after the cancellation of the Imola Grand Prix. Initially, the Silverstone-based outfit were planning to bring upgrades to Imola, Silverstone and then Canada. But with Imola Grand Prix being called off, the team had to make changes to its set plans. As Mike Crack, team principal of Aston Martin, revealed how the team will move forwards with upgrades. It's split a little bit. The Imola upgrades, the ones that make sense, we kept on the car for here. There are 1 or 2 bits that we bring to Barcelona because it makes no sense to bring them here. It's a split approach. We will have some updates here, we will have some updates in Barcelona, and we will have some more to come after that. So, what can we expect from Aston Martin for this Spanish Grand Prix? Well, the team did bring some upgrades to Monaco, which is expected to be carried over to Barcelona. The upgrade Aston Martin brought to Monaco, again, is another loophole that they have found within the current technical regulations. The end part of the rear wing is sort of against the regulations. This design brings in more dirty air, potentially makes the car a little bit more draggy, but better on its downforce generation. It is a little loophole and a little bit against regulations, as the design seems similar to what the 2017 to 2021 cars had. But the biggest change we expect from Aston Martin is a sidepods upgrade, not a drastic change as Mercedes did. The new upgrade is expected to bring a little bit more helping to the rear of the floor. Aston Martin all this time have collected data regarding the aerodynamics around the sidepods. But now, with the upgrade expected to come to Barcelona, Aston Martin are expecting to push more and get less drag out of that sidepods. This is something that the technical director of Aston Martin, Dan Fallows, has talked about. According to him, visual changes are supposed to be coming for the Spanish Grand Prix. At least they were supposed to be introduced to Imola, but were delayed to Spain. According to media outlets, 2 parts are going to come to Barcelona, and from what we know, it is going to be another floor upgrade. Aston Martin have not worked hard on the upper part of the floor, as it seems to be the most basic, most simple floor out of the entire grid. Along with that, there will be a rear diffuser upgrade to accompany the upgrades made to the floor. I am expecting the team to introduce the sidepods upgrades as well, but the floor and the diffuser upgrades will be the team's priority. Aston Martin will looking for improvement in tire life and also will want to extract more mechanical grip that the Red Bull currently has. A low downforce rear wing is also expected to make its way to Barcelona with redesigned pontoons. We did see the Red Bull floor at Monaco, but I am not expecting the team to take cues from the Red Bull design and implement it on its own on its next upgrade. But I feel the team will bring Red Bull inspired changes later down the season. We can expect Alonso to be the closest to the Red Bulls, as the Barcelona track will suit the Aston Martin car much better. Although we won't know for sure until the cars show up in the paddock on Thursday this week, Aston Martin are currently in the best position to genuinely compete against Red Bull over a race distance. Now let's talk about the Mercedes upgrades. Mercedes brought its Big B spec upgrade to Monaco, therefore they're not going to be bringing some insane upgrades to Barcelona again, which is going to completely change the car. The Brackley-based squad needs to test these upgrades first, see how the car is performing after the changes, and to see where the car is still lacking in terms of both mechanical and aerodynamic performance. There are other upgraded parts which the silver arrows were not able to introduce at the Monaco Grand Prix that are supposed to be added onto the new Mercedes car. Now what are these upgraded parts? These parts have to do really with the car's front and rear. After making heavy design changes to the front suspension, side pods, and the underfloor, the team has to make sure the entire car works in unison in terms of aerodynamics. For that, the team will have to make changes to the front wing design. Will the team be bringing an entirely new front wing to Spain? That will not be the case. I am expecting the team to bring a modified front wing, with the required design changes to enhance the aerodynamic performance of the car's front. The biggest upgrade the team will be making at Barcelona will be the rear wing of the car. Mercedes has had the worst DRS efficiency out of the entire grid, and they have not been able to extract much performance of their current rear wing design. The Brackley-based squad brought a new rear wing to the Australian Grand Prix, and I would say that new rear wing has not performed as expected. Now that most of the W14's bodywork has been redesigned, the aerodynamics will be working much more differently than before. Therefore, to host the made changes, the team should make changes to its rear wing design, which I am hoping the team to bring at the Spanish Grand Prix. We are not exactly sure of what the silver arrows will be bringing to Barcelona, but I am sure that the rear and front wings both are not working in unison with the rest of the car's aerodynamic package. That is where most of the W14's drag will also be present. So, the team will be working to correct those issues as soon and as efficient as possible, because drag has been a big problem for Mercedes since 2022. We know that less the car's drag is, the more efficiently the car's aerodynamics will perform, leading to gain in performance. Now let's discuss about what I feel would be the team bringing the biggest upgrades to Spain, and that is Ferrari. Ferrari's plan is to bring upgrades to every single race of this season, to see what potential the SF23 has. This was what Frédéric Vasseur said to media, and it has pretty much been that. After the Monaco Grand Prix, Ferrari, who have been all over the place this season, are in a rather isolated situation. The majority of the time, not only were they unable to contend with Mercedes or Aston Martin for third place, this time around, they were beaten by Alpine by pure pace. The Ferrari car has good qualifying pace, but pretty bad race pace. That makes the SF23 one of the weakest cars of the entire grid. The biggest weakness has been the tire performance of the Ferrari car. The SF23 is very rear biased, which give the drivers confidence, but will eat up tires. Ferrari needs to change this balance, shift it towards the middle, or towards the front of the car. Red Bull, Mercedes and Aston Martin cars are all front biased balance cars, which gives them the advantage of better tire life and performance. Ferrari are reported to be bringing a side pods and rear suspension upgrade. Ferrari is anticipated to introduce a side pod with a new profile to the track, which would enhance aerodynamic performance all around. By reprofiled, I mean nearly a complete revamp, possibly on a par with the Mercedes overhaul. When combined with Miami's new floor, the expectation is that Ferrari will hope that the airflow over the diffuser, beam wing and rear wing will be stabilized, providing more consistent downforce levels over a full lap and potentially over a full race distance. The SF23 has displayed brief bursts of speed, particularly this year. However, if they can make a stable race car and stabilize the vehicle, they may be able to advance to the competition for second place. These were upgrades set for Imola, but has been backtracked to Barcelona due to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix being cancelled. I expect these upgrades to work in unison with the floor upgrade Ferrari made at Miami to reduce drag and improve tire performance. Other than these three teams, we are expecting upgrades from AlphaTauri. The team have upgrades coming that they hope will sort out many of the problems on its car, which is one of the worst cars on the grid in terms of how it suffers from drag on the straights. These upgrades were slated to be brought to Imola, but is now being brought to Barcelona. Now you may think about Red Bull and their progress. Unfortunately, Red Bull doesn't really give us much information on their upgrades, so I can't really talk to you about it up until I know what's happening with them. So what do you guys think? What are your expectations for the Spanish Grand Prix coming? What are your thoughts about the upgrades the three big teams that are chasing against Red Bull are bringing to Barcelona? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section down below. We'd love to discuss it with you. And on your way down, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get notified of our future uploads, to keep yourselves up to date about the 2023 Formula 1 season.